loves. Okay, got a little update. So this whole year 2021 has been non-stop retrogrades. Brutal, I know. The last Mercury retrograde was absolutely horrible. Very educational, a lot of information. I mean, a lot of downloads. Like the Mercury retrograde we had recently was awesome for downloads and information. And then simultaneously, around the same time as the Mercury retrograde, we had the Pluto, we had the Saturn, and it was just overwhelming. And I was like meditating earlier, and I felt a shift. Like I finally got to meditate today after work, and I was like, you know, I've not really been able to meditate as much as I would like to, you know, because especially if like you've changed your routine like I have. I've been getting up like a lot earlier. Like I've gotten up around like 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, which I normally don't have to, but because there's so much to get done, there's so much going on in the world that, you know, you want to stay ahead of, you know, like upkeeping your garden, saving your money, looking at the stock market, you know, like, you know, adult stuff. So sometimes I get up earlier to like give myself the time to read a book or meditate. So the earlier, or to do yoga, right? The earlier you get up is the more time you have to actually take care of yourself. Is it fun? No. Is it easy all the time? No. But it's necessary, especially if you feel stiff. If you feel stiff in your body, you don't feel as sharp or quick-witted or, you know, on top of things, you got to meditate. You got to do some kind of aerobic exercise or flexibility that you can incorporate into your routine so that your body is used to pressure. Your body is used to these changes. So as I was meditating, I was like, something feels different. I know that I was brushing up on the astrological transits and astrology. I know I was brushing up on certain things for the month of July. And I came across Chiron, and I was like, oh crap, like, bruh, like from the middle of July, we have just gotten into another retrograde. This year is brutal. This year is so hard. Like, in my opinion, I feel like this year is worse than last year. And I'm not trying to like sound no kind of way, but I really feel like even though last year was when the pandemic really kicked off, I prefer last year, 2020. I prefer last year 100% because at least I got to travel before everything kicked off. At least I was able to get my house in order. This year, everything is just all over the place. And as you guys can see, like with my updates, my videos, my vlogs, like I've been telling you all that a lot is about to change for a lot of us. And at the same time, we have this like mass awakening. You know, a lot of people are waking up. A lot of people are quitting their job. That's a huge part of what's going on right now. A lot of people want to switch their career, or they want to have more of a work-life balance, you know, more time with their family, which is what I've been telling you all that I'm focusing on, is more so taking care of my health, you know, getting 6 to 8 hours of sleep, because before I was not really sleeping, I was pulling all-nighters, and that was not healthy. And so I'm going to encourage you all to look within your own routine, your own life, and figure out where there needs to be some more healing. Because I mean, the generic standard meaning of the Chiron retrograde is really about the trauma, but I think a lot of it has to do with your health, your physical body. Like, I would not be surprised if during this time people have more car accidents, or people have more like mistaking what do you call it, mistake injuries, where like they just so happen to get an injury. Like, I think that especially for like air signs like Aquarius, Capricorn, Scorpio, you know, the very kind of like tough will, cardinal, fixed signs, I would definitely say be careful. Like if you're like a Scorpio, Aquarius, Capricorn, Virgo, those signs stand out to me. Sagittarius, I feel like, you know, Pisces, maybe even like you may feel a lot of this even more, especially Aquarius. I was feeling Aquarius. So yeah, like now is definitely the reason why I was feeling the need to tell you all, take care of your health, because like this energy is very tough. And especially if you're bringing up things from the past, or you feel like you need to heal some things that you really have not worked through, it's going to resurface at this time. So yes, that could be that you broke up with somebody, right? You broke up with somebody and now you need to heal that. Or it could be the fact that, you know, you were in a work situation that you feel you wasted your time with, and now you're like having regrets. So don't be hard on yourself during this time. Now, by the way, this Chiron retrograde, to my knowledge, I have to read more up on it and do my own kind of analysis, but from what I've gotten, it's until December. If you all didn't know, it's until December, I think 15th or 16th. I'm going to say till the 18th, because even if they say the cap off is the 15th, we all know that the energy lingers. So I would say like the max, the 22nd of December, which is really like the whole rest of the year. So there's no escaping this. There's no escaping like what's going on. And what you're going to experience right now is a lot of shift. A lot of things are changing. So don't be surprised if you see like surprise engagements, surprise breakups, surprise divorces, you know, crazy changes to your company. You know, like don't be surprised if like overnight there's like some big massive change, because obviously naturally when people heal from something, they have to keep going on. You know, life does not stop for our tragedies or misfortune, right? Life keeps going on. So that's going to be, I feel like, the brunch of the energy. I'm feeling August. Yeah, well, I would say November, December, and August, I think is going to be very choppy. We're finishing off July now as I'm making this video. So definitely you want to like incorporate a lot of exercises or breathing routine, or ways to like, I would say, adjust your stress level, because I don't know how this is backed up, and I'm sure somebody who's way more seasoned and has way more information into astrology and all that can tell you. But from my understanding, the way I'm perceiving the energy as a Scorpio, as a lot of Libra heavily, I have Aries in my, I have a lot, Aries as well is going to get really affected. I would definitely say to like keep yourself flexible, like water, like movement, because the energy is going to be coming at you. Like right now, a lot of you could already feel this, where the energy is just coming at you like 1,000 miles per hour, and you're having all these big plans of moving and this and that. And so that's a lot of like Saturn, Chiron energy, where, and Pluto, I should say, where it's like a metamorphosis, like you're evolving, you're changing. So if you're not really up to date with how your body is adjusting, you may want to focus on that first. For my advice is to focus more upon how your body is feeling. You know, check in with your body to see if you're feeling all right. And if you're okay, then try to increase, the amount of time by 5 minutes, 2 minutes with breathing techniques and Pilates or yoga or kickboxing, or just simply going for a walk. Is going to help kind of combat a lot of this like friction, heavy energy. So I would definitely say Pisces, Aries, Aquarius, Scorpio, Virgo, Sagittarius. Aries is what I'm feeling for the most part is going to be the most affected. Because like, you know, especially when you have Cardinal on top of that and Libra, like it's like, you know, you want to get things done, you want to push past through, but with this energy, you kind of can't. Like you can, but you can't. And I would definitely recommend for you to look at to look up through the houses in which this Chiron retrograde is affecting you. Whether it's 10th house, first house, really need to, like, I mean, I wish I had more info to give you all in this short period of time on this live stream right here, but like for sure, look into what house it affects because when I looked up what house it affects for me, it was bang on. And I was like, oh, no wonder why I'm talking like this. No wonder why I'm talking about, like, you know, focusing on other things besides just work, because it's not favorable right now for me. Like that's what I've realized. Like right now for me, it's not at its optimum. Do you see what I'm saying? So like so in the house in which it's affecting you, it could be 5th house, 1st house, self-expression, 2nd house, creativity, like different things like that. You're gonna feel it. So if you're having like these constant buck ups or these constant blocks, look into that, because when I did that, I was like, okay, that explains exactly why I feel this friction between juggling all these different projects, all these different work obligations that I have. So when I looked into it, it made perfect sense. So before you get harsh on yourself, before you beat yourself up, look up where all these things have been affecting you. Go back to the Saturn retrograde, go back to even the Mercury retrograde that we had like last month. Even go back as far as that and start to look into your houses. Get a accurate depiction of your chart, your birth natal chart, your houses, your information. It's free. A lot of these resources are free, by the way, but if you want to like go to somebody, I recommend that, you know, for sure. If I offered that, I would, but I don't offer that at the time being. I would need to like really like get professional guidance with that, because I don't think that it's just for like anybody. I definitely think that when it comes to like the nitty gritty with astrology and your birth, all that, like you gotta like learn that, you know, you really have to be seasoned, I would say. Like you have to know. I don't know like that. So definitely go to a professional if you feel led to. So before you beat yourself up, you know, try to get as much resources as you can and figure out, okay, what house is this affecting? What happened with the Saturn? What happened with the Mercury? Like go back to the earlier part of the year and kind of look through some things, because maybe that's going to explain why you've been having these certain frictions or blockages or road blockages or issues with trying to accomplish this, but then you feel like you need to, you know, your energy's pulling you towards this. And quite frankly, what I want to say is for a lot of people, if not everybody, there's going to be new beginnings. There's going to be endings. There's going to be new beginnings. It's just that simple. I think that is the part that, if anybody's covering this, that is like the gist of it, in my opinion, is the fact that, you know, cycles are closing, healing has taken place, but healing and forgiving the past and acknowledging, you know, some of the more sad parts of things, or, you know, to forgive yourself for certain mistakes or things that you've been, situations you've been placed in, is hard. You know, to forgive yourself and to forgive others even is very hard. You know, it may challenge your trust issues. It may trigger you. You know, a lot of things may come up that you're not really prepared for. So like I said, just be very cautious of what's going on, you know, in the so-called heavens. Just be very cautious that it may not be actually you as a problem. It may just be the fact that things astrologically are changing, and your body, the timeline, what you're going through has to be updated. You have to kind of like update yourself. And keep in mind, this is until December. So this is like the whole rest of the year. I definitely feel like August, November, December. I wouldn't even say really October necessarily, because I feel like the energy will mellow by then, but I feel like it'll kick back up November, December, unfortunately. So, you know, that could affect the stock market. That could affect the way, you know, what we're seeing out here, and how people are having a change of heart, or they're coming into knowings of certain things, you know, like overnight. They're like, you know what, I need to forgive this person. You know what, I need to stop holding on to this person. I need to stop holding on to this job. I need to stop believing in this fantasy. Oh, and Neptune. I believe Neptune retrograde as well. Oh my God. I almost forgot Neptune. Wow. So yeah, so the Neptune retrograde is going to take, it's going to really illuminate the BS that you've been feeding yourself, the lies that you've been telling yourself to stay in a, sticky situation or in a bad relationship or friendship, or to tolerate certain things. The Neptune energy is going to cut right through that and say, we're not going to tolerate this. This is not, and you know what? It's really the energy of, we're not going to do this, right? It's really the energy of, we're not going to keep doing this. We're not going to keep putting up with this. And so you're going to have to be, whether it's a tower moment or it's just, a magician moment, you're going to be kind of thrusted into this avalanche of change. It's all about change. The only thing constant and ever happening is change. Change is inevitable. So go with the flow, be easy on yourself, work on unblocking the chakras that are causing issues. Like since last week, my throat chakra has been really activating, but causing me some issues. And that's because I've been more vocal with myself, more open about my life, what I want in my life, what I want out of life. And so sometimes it's not even about these things being activated with other people, but more so within yourself, like you coming to and realizing things that you need to fix within yourself. So it's not even so much about turning the mirror to anybody else. At this time, it's turning a mirror back to yourself, I would say, with the Neptune, Saturn, Mercury retrograde, Chiron, all these really heavy hitting. I mean, this is really tough. I'm going to add, I think, even within the body, depending upon other placements, even your body may get heavily affected. So I feel like health has been a huge part to play in all this too. So people really don't talk about that, but I'm going to say that your health, with all this going on, your health could definitely be affected. So load up on your vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E. Make sure that you're spending time in open areas safely, where you're getting fresh air, whether it's in your back patio, your front garden, in front of your apartment, doesn't really matter. Just stay safe. We're still in a pandemic, obviously. But focus on what you got to get done. This is not the time to look behind you and question the past. The Chiron energy may have you do that, but this is not the time for that. This is the time for you to get serious and to get intentional about how you want your life to be moving forward, or more so the second half of the year. What goals or what things that you want to, I wouldn't even say goals. What do you want to strive towards, right? Because goals, the word goals sometimes can sound like it's haunting, it's scary, it's demanding. So let's switch that up. So let's not say goals. Let's say, like, what do you want to strive towards every single day? What are you willing to sacrifice or invest in to get to point A to point B is more of what I would say. So if it's career, if it's love, if it's having a family, getting pregnant, working on yourself, your business, whatever you feel like your health could be at the forefront, like it is for me. And then everything else kind of trickles from that. Do what's best for you. Don't put too much stress on yourself. Be easy. Understand that a lot of things are going to be resurfacing. Even could be old friendships, old relationships, old jobs, old co-workers, people from the past reaching out to you and causing you to kind of feel like, your head is sloshing around. So be careful of, having the door so wide open to the point where your present is neglected. What you have in front of you is neglected because you're looking at the past hurt, past this, past that. So just be aware of that and, see it for what it is, right? It's a lesson. Like all those things were lessons. All those things were stepping stones to get you to be at your optimum, your most healthy, your most happy, your most joyous, your most free today in the present. So hopefully this gave you a little bit of insight. Make sure you check out your houses. Be easy on yourself again, please. Don't feel the need to, I would definitely say at this time, don't overburden yourself with obligations, right? Don't make promises you cannot keep. That's a big one. That's a big one for the rest of the year. If you feel like you're being called or you're being forced or pushed to a certain level of responsibility, whether in romantic. I mean, I saw a lot of people, funny enough, on social media saying how they can't do a relationship, and this has just happened since the Chiron retrograde kicked off. I saw a lot of people, funny enough, saying, I gotta focus on myself. I gotta focus on myself. So this is the influence. I see it. So most definitely responsibility. Don't overgive yourself. Don't feel trapped in a way where, whether it's in a relationship or work partnership, or like, don't feel the need to overshot yourself and try to like overly sell yourself. Like, it's not the time right now to be trying to tell 1,000 people that, oh yeah, I'm gonna be this level, if you're not really, and you're this level. Like, if you only can do, you know, dating right now and you really can't do marriage, be honest about that. You know, if you're not financially ready to buy a property or buy a new car, you know, but you have, for example, you have your eye on a new car, but you know financially it's going to be tight. Don't put yourself in a compromising situations. Look over paperwork, look over documents, look over things with a fine-tooth comb at this time. Don't overburden yourself is what I want to say. You know, what you can do, you could do. Let the energy play out. Don't try to do 1,000 things at once, because most likely it's not going to pan out the way you want it to a T. And if it's not going to be the exact way you want it, that's when the kickback happens. That's when the anger steps in. That's when you blame people for the past, and you get angry because you're not focusing on the task at hand. So don't get distracted. The rest of the year is to lock in now, to be intentional, to be diplomatic. Use your energy and your time wisely. Doesn't matter how much money you have, you can't buy time. You can't get the time back. If you're dwelling upon an ex relationship, ex partnership, ex connection, it's over now, right? Move on. So that's what I want to say to you all. Yeah, so just don't overburden yourself. You know, don't try to people please. Like, now is not the time to people please, you know, because people pleasing could get you in a chokehold and make you neglect your own goals, make you neglect what you got to focus on, trying to make everybody else feel good. So especially my water signs out here, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, I've been saying this for the water signs a lot, and Libra. Don't be so giving of yourself. Have your boundaries, have your limits, okay? Love you all. Thank you for watching. Hope this helped. Any more information or updates I have intuitively to speak on this topic, any other retrogrades, I will let you all know. Yes, it's until December. Sit tight, be strong. See you in the next video. Bye. Subscribe.